Peace and blessing to the chosen. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. That sounds funny.
Feed my sheep, feed my sheep. If you love me, if you love me, if you love me, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep. If you love me, I take a look at my people, realize I can't quit. Devil whispers in my ear, say that I should stop. But I've been growing every day, being nurtured by the Most High. I outgrew the flower pot that I was planted in. See these 9.5 that I'm standing in. Put myself in harm's way to give him Abba's message. Palm tree, his hands cover me, I'm protected. Chasing cheese, I feel sorry for that first mouse. You put that man before him, put that woman before him. If it come before him, it never works out. Poison ivy on they lobes, they got itching ears. This straight and narrow road requires switching gears. Time to turn it up. All the offense, he gon' burn it up. We not saved by faith only, or Torah only. Keep the commandments and the testimony, both homie. If you love me, if you love me, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep.
I like this song. All right, all praise to the Most High. Yup. Drop a 7 in the comments for me to let me know the audio coming through clearly. Drop a 7 in the comment for me. I got one witness already. Appreciate that. The water, or thank you. Tree of the field. Drop another 7 for me if I'm coming through clearly on the audio. Let me get a second witness. Peace and bless to everybody over YouTube, everybody over Facebook, everybody who will see this later on, everybody who has been tuning in over time. May the Most High be with y'all and bless y'all. We blessed to see another Sabbath, another Shabbat, man, another day that the Most High saw fit for us to take part in and experience. There's a lot of people who didn't wake up this morning. There's a lot of people who didn't make it through the week. They didn't live to see this season even. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't live to see the summer this year. A lot of people won't make it to the winter time. You know what I mean? So the Father been gracious and he done poured out a lot of it on us. I'm still waiting on that second witness though. Drop the 7 in the comment for me. Drop the 7 in the comment for me. Make sure everything good on my end. Let me see. Yep, my connection good. Appreciate that. All praise to the Most High. The water. Thank you. All right, family. So giving all glory, praise, and honor to the Father of lights, man, the one who created day and night. And that in itself is a mind-blowing miracle and blessing. You know, there's a lot of people that don't understand who the Most High is. And that's not just by coincidence. A lot of the working parts that have people ignorant of who the Father is and the reason why the world is rampant with so much transgression, so much sickness, and the different things that we seeing now is because what hasn't been taught. You know what I mean? And who's been put into position to be teaching. You got a lot of these pastors, the preachers, the reverends, the evangelists, the people who in a seat who's supposed to be handling the Most High's word, where the normal and the common people in the community, they saying, hey, we got all these churches in our city. We got all these churches in our communities, but it seemed like ain't no change. Things getting worse. And they saying, well, why is that? All right, a part of it is because the people who in position to teach a lot of these pastors, they Masons. You know what I mean? They belong to a secret society, which if the society was so good and the secret that they were holding was such a benefit for mankind, it wouldn't be something that had to be esoteric or something that had to be clandestine. All right, so these men and women alike, they've been trained, family. They had to go to seminary school. They had to go through certain rites and rituals in order to obtain a white collar. And then within that, they gained benefits, worldly benefits, to have a church, to have this building. You know what I mean? And they teaching according to tradition and not according to truth. And that's the thing. The scripture let us know for anybody that's a believer who does trust in the Most High, who does love the Most High, we know the word say the truth gonna set us free, not tradition. And it's these same traditions, family, that got so many people and families and households in shackles and chains. It got a lot of confusion going on. It's a lot of people who turned their backs on the Most High, and they not completely innocent because this man lied. Don't give you grounds to be able to say, well, the Most High don't exist. For example, you got a lot of people. They go to Taco Bell, they get the order wrong. Let's take it a step further outside of that type of business. They go to Walmart, you know, a retail store like that. And the damage, they end up purchasing something that's damaged. They don't just completely say, well, I forfeit my desire to ever go to Walmart again. A lot of they say, well, I'm gonna go to a different one. You even have people that say, well, this particular product that I bought from the weed man, I got some weed from him. I got some cocaine from him or her. They said it was a bad batch. They don't say, well, I'm done with the weed or the cocaine or the pills. They go find another supplier. So I'm saying that to say many people have turned their backs on the Most High because they've been looking at the preacher and the pastor who he's not filled with the Holy Spirit. He ain't been anointed. He went to seminary school. They gave him a curriculum and they told him, well, these are the things and the points that you teach on and that you teach to the people. And within it, that keep the masses docile and food. One of the biggest issues of that, my people, we don't know that this book, the Bible, is our history. So we don't even understand that, man, the creator, like I said, the one that made the nighttime. You gotta, man, let that digest in your spirit. Night was made, family. Daytime was made. Hey, sis, that mockingbird, that ladybug that you love so much, man, that was made by an autonomous being who you can't even fathom his thought process. All right, but that same being, that same one, he said, man, these are my people. The ones that been rejected, the ones that's in the ghettos, the ones that's in the hoods, the ones that's indigenous to the Americas and these other lands across the four corners of the earth, who they took us from America to Spain. They took us from the west coast of Africa to Portugal and to Europe and to Brazil and these other, we've been scattered throughout the world, man. And within it, a part of us not knowing who the Most High is, not knowing who the Creator is, being lied to by these wicked pastors and televangelists, these sellouts, man, it put us at odds with the Most High. We don't know. We can't correct the issues that we have in our communities because we don't even know the origin of these issues. We don't know we suffering the way we are because We still in a contract with the Creator where he said, look, I chose y'all to be my ambassadors in the earth. I chose y'all to be a light to the world where I'm going to work through y'all where they see it. Matter of fact, let's go here. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. He said, man, I'm going to deal with y'all differently than how I deal with everybody else. Matter of fact, let me put it on the screen. Put it on the screen. Watch this. Yeah, so get your Bible, man. You're going to learn something today if you sit there. You know what I mean? The Most High then gave. The Most High gives. He gives us insight, man. He ain't going to leave us without a comforter. He not going to leave us. He haven't left us without answers to these questions that we have. The common man, you know what I mean? The guys in the hood, the family that's in a trailer park home, the folks that's living in the projects, man, they want answers, man. And within that, the power up, which we gonna get to, the power up is the commandments of the Most High. But you got wolves in sheep's clothing, man. You got wolves in sheep's clothing teaching the people, hey, we don't have to worry about the instructions, these basic instructions that the Creator gave humans, that he gave mankind. He ain't just plant us on the earth, on the planet, and not give us some kind of insight on what pleases him and what displeases him, family. All right, so I want to share the screen, though, to get y'all to see. I want y'all to be able to read along. Let me see. My peace and blessing to everybody who's tuning in, man. Ain't that something? I guess I won't be able to do that. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy, though. The book of Deuteronomy, which when we talk about these instructions, the basic instructions, the least of the commandments, a part of the agenda and my aim of speaking on this today, family, is for us to understand that there are commandments that we still can apply even now, even while we scatter. Those who understand the history. There are still ways that we can apply these commandments, man. It's not something that was so hard where I done heard people say, well, he gave us the commandments knowing that we couldn't keep them. Man, the book tells me the Most High, he's not a God of vanity. That would be vain. Why would he give us some instruction he know we can't keep? No, it wasn't that. We got to understand what happened within the history. We were in our land, family, where we had our own standing army. We had our own suburbs. We had our own orchards, our own fields. We had our own, we had control of our food system. We had control of everything that pertained to our day-to-day living. But in the disobedience, violating the contract with the Most High, the one that made the sun, the one that put the scales on the snake, the one that gave the bite down power, the pressure power to the alligator, the one that created the tiger, the leopard, the cheetah, the jaguar, all these different cats, these wild cats. We violated the agreement that he made with us. And in doing so, he said, look, I'm gonna push y'all, I'm gonna give y'all some hard love. I'm gonna take y'all out of y'all land. So whereas you had control over how everything that pertained to your life, even your children, now that control and power gonna be given over to another race of people. And that same race of people gonna hate y'all. Deuteronomy 6. Let me see. Let's see. No, I think I want Deuteronomy 4. Yes, indeed. Deuteronomy 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4, fam. Watch this. Verse 5 won't start in it. But every time we come on, fam, anytime I come on, anytime you listen to anybody, hey, make sure you go back and read from the first verse, and then also read past whatever verse the teacher or the preacher pull out. That way you can have a context of what's being said, and you won't have just a portion of the understanding of the chapter or even the book and the information all together, man. All right, so Deuteronomy 4, though, verse 5, it says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it." So remember, us being the children of Israel, our forefathers and foremothers, the Most High brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, out of the house of slavery, out of the house of servants, where we were afflicted heavily. The Most High raised up Moses, used him and Aaron along with the 70 elders to bring us out, sent the 10 plagues on this Hamite nation, these Egyptians, the children of Ham, parted the Red Sea or the Red Sea, and we wanted to make it to the land of milk and honey, the promised land, which was Canaan. All right. So the Most High telling us in that journey, when you come to this land, I'm going to teach you how to operate, because the people that's occupying the land right now, these Jebusites and these other different nations, they got some real wicked and detestable ways. Don't do like them. We're going to get that. And it also say, the Most High said, also from the land of Egypt, the place where you came from, don't practice none of the ways of their culture. So don't pick up the culture from your past, the people who had you in bondage. Neither pick up the culture of these group of people who occupying the land that I'm about to give to y'all. All right. So he taught us statutes of judgment. Verse 6 says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for?" So this is what the brown man don't understand. The brown lady don't understand. This is what the minority groups don't understand. Man, the Most High have said that he keep us close to him. He see us differently than he see all these other people. Look at the things that we suffer. Look at the atrocities that we experience. Look at what we deal with day to day. Look at our neighborhoods. Look at our households. Look at us as individuals, man. We different. We are set apart people so special that even in our wickedness, we set the tone and example for other nations that they want to copy. They use us. They exploit us. They say, well, hold up, let's put a brown face to this so that it can be promoted and marketed. Why is that? They say we're going to promote it and market it to these brown people. Why is that? Because the book tells us, you don't know this, brother. You don't know this, sis. You don't know this gang. Cuz, blood, five, you don't know this. You lost. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We don't understand. So many of our people lost. All right, but what the book is telling us, what we know in the record, is say that the Father told Abraham, in your seed will all the nations of the earth be blessed. This is why a company can have one Negro in there. One Israelite can be in there. And guess what? That company will flourish. All right, and on the flip side of that, you notice how, and this in the field of warehouse of what I've seen, and I know it's in office, the office settings as well, environments. When you hit a certain marker for the company, they want to roll out the pizza party. And what's wrong with the pizza? The pizza got pork all on it. All right, why is that important? Why am I making mention of that? Because that's one of the least commandments, family. We're not supposed to consume pork. We're not supposed to pepperoni. If it's not turkey pepperoni, we're not supposed to be consuming it. We're not even supposed to touch the dead carcass of a pig, let alone pick it up, cook it, and try to eat it. All right, but those things that offend the Most High, the world through our falling away, through us being confused, not knowing that who we are. Listen, we end up committing the sins, the transgressions that offend the Father, you know what I mean, on a day-to-day basis, and we gloat in it. This is why you got so many people that have what they call a seafood boil parties. This is why they got all the lobsters and all the crab legs and the shrimp and the crawfish boiling up. They having a shrimp party. Not knowing the Most High, like, man, I detest that. You're not even supposed to be eating it. But these same commandments, these same instruction that the Creator gave us, all these other races supposed to look at us and say, man, how is those folks so close to the one who made the sun? Like, they really got a relationship with the one who made the worm that's inside the dirt. The one that made the roly-poly. Like they really can call on him and he gonna answer them. He really be watching them. Like, they got his attention. Yeah. So you got to understand, on the flip side, the adversaries, the enemies, these other nations, they said, man, look, if these people stay in contact with the Creator like that, we will never see an ounce of rulership. So we need to do everything we can to keep them in sin, because by keeping them in sin, they violate the contract, and that keeps them in odds with the Most High. By us sinning, they keep us on the bottom, family. All right, so they're not going to tell you, but a lot of your rappers and your celebrities, look, it's in their contracts that they have to mislead the children of Israel. It's a part of the country. They have to agree to it. They complicit in misleading and misguiding the Most High's people. All right, I'm going to read that again. Deuteronomy 4:6 says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh or so near unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. All right, so this information, these commandments, family, this is what we're going on. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 right quick. I just said a lot. But this is something that your Sunday pastor, whether it be a he or she definitely being in violation. She shouldn't be running no congregation or leading nobody, no assembly. But this is what happened to us. So we say, how did we become so disconnected? Why don't we know these? Why don't we know the basics, family? We don't even know the basic instructions. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to go over. We're going to get them. We're going to touch on the commandments here and there throughout the Torah. Of some of those basic instructions that we can apply today. But Jeremiah 17 verse 1 says, the sin of Judah is written with the pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. And thou, here he talking to us, family, even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So we discontinue from our heritage. We so far removed from the basic instructions that they feel foreign, and we count it a strange thing, like the book say. You got people out here don't know. Like I made a post. You know, you in different households. This is something we got to consider too, family. In some households, people have been raised where it was normal. It was normal now, and you know, viewer discretion advised within his message. It was normal for a person to lay down with an animal. This was normal. They talking about them country folks, them country boys who been out there for so long, lonely. They go out there and get to dealing with the cow or the horse. Old girl get out there laying down with their horse. Now, a part of this got to do with because what they haven't been taught and what they have been taught. Another key component. I'm gonna keep putting it on these false preachers and pastors, these guys who really Masons. They really worship the serpent. The whole message that they teach is prosperity. Bring your tithes. Let me tell you something that's gonna make you feel good. They're not talking about judgment. The messages don't pertain to what's gonna happen to your soul when you die. What are you doing in your day-to-day living that may be displeasing or pleasing the Most High? Don't you know Satan wants your soul? Hell is a real place. They telling the people, hey, come as you are. It don't matter how you are, long as you got that bag. Long as you got that bread. Hey, matter of fact, y'all done gave the tithes. Listen, it look a little skimpy on the altar. I heard a pastor say that before. These folk coming out their pockets with $100 bills, crispy. These folk literally giving their last, the money that's supposed to go on the light bill, trusting what this man is saying. He tell them this is your year. Look around, family. Look at the economy. Don't you know that they closing Walmarts? They shutting down so many Walgreens. You got a lot of these Macy's going bankrupt, different businesses and companies going bankrupt. They closing several locations. And you still got men and women out here saying, oh, hey, it's going to be okay this your year, just sow a seed of $200. Sowing a seed of $200 ain't going to get you in the kingdom. The master told us, the poor you have with you always. We also read what the apostles told the man who wanted to buy the Holy Spirit. He said, look, man, your money perish with you for thinking that you can buy the Holy Spirit. The Most High don't have need of our money, man. What he does have need, what he does require of us is for us to be obedient. Let's go to Joshua. On that note right there, let's go to Joshua, man. Let's go to the book of Joshua. On that note right there. Let's see. What do I want from here? He said, what do I require of you? Hold up for a second. Hold up for a second. Hold on, fam. Hold up. Well, dude, somebody drop that for me then. He said, hold on. Don't worry, be patient. Hold up. Hold on. If I have to come back to it, I will. Let's go to Proverbs then. Let's go to Proverbs. Hold up. Yeah, Mike will talk about it too, but I wanted that one from Joshua family. I wanted the junk that was in Joshua. Proverbs. Because a part of it ain't even what was in my notes, but it's all good. Let's go to Proverbs though, family. Proverbs 7:2. We're gonna come back to that Joshua. Because here we go. If we don't understand the basics, surely enough, we're gonna be confused about what's advanced. All right, so many people, we rush into the advanced parts. We rush into these things that's really meat. Meat meaning that it is for those who are mature in the word. It's for those who, you have to break it down. It's not so easily understood just by speaking on it. But here we go, Proverbs 7:2. It says, keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. So if we not understanding these commandments, we outside of the commandments, and then we comprehend what this verse telling us, that by keeping the commandments, we'll live. If we breaking these commandments, then we open ourselves up for death. Even like today, many people not understanding, when you look at the statistics, at least from our study, it shows that a majority or a high number, most people die on a Saturday. Most fatalities happen on a Saturday. All right, and that's not a coincidence, because when we look at the way that the work week is set up on a main level, most people view the work week Monday through Friday. They don't view the week as Sunday through Friday or Sunday through Thursday. So by the time they didn't work Monday through Friday through Thursday, all right, Friday hit, they get paid Friday, which that's against the law. Most out we'll cover that too. You're supposed to get paid every day. All right. But they didn't work the whole week. Friday come, they get the check, they tired, and so now they ready to go relax. They ready to go party. They ready to go out. Let their hair down. And so they end up doing it a lot of times on a Saturday, which is the Sabbath. This is the time for us to refresh our spirits. This is the time to rest. This is the time for us to really hone in with the Most High. He said it's going to be a sign between me and you for you to keep this day holy. Be holy as he holy. But we don't understand that. We haven't been given that basic understanding. All right, and I'm dealing with it, talking about it, speaking on it from a basic perspective, family. All right, but keep his commandments and live. Let's go to Matthew 5. Keep his commandments and live. Matthew 5, man. He said the priest's lips should keep knowledge. He said the priest is supposed to, according to Ezekiel 44:23, it said that the priest is supposed to help us to discern between the clean and unclean. But your pastor, your grandma, who so many people hold the grandmama in high regard in their families, to be the leader, traditionally, they'll hold fast to something that the grandmama told them, or their mama told them. And it'll be completely against what the word of the Most High say. You can show them in the Bible that they say, hey, don't do this. Well, my grandma said that I could. So then it leads us to the scripture where the master said, full well, you reject the commandments of the Most High, that you may keep your own tradition. All right, so full well, we reject these commandments that the Father gave us, It is our wisdom. This is how we get close to the Father. This is how you get the attention of the Most High. This is how you become a vessel that's prepared for every good work, by doing what he say. When you do right, you get a reward. When you disobey, you get a whooping. You get punished. You get disciplined. All right, so that's what we got to understand. Matthew 5, though. Matthew 5, verse 17. It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. This one verse right here, the Sunday teachers, the Masons, the Masonic pastors, they use this and say, see, this right here let us know that we don't have to worry about the Old Testament. Let me give y'all some information if you don't know this. The whole thing about separating Old Testament, New Testament, listen, man, the whole book is supposed to be dealt with. But this separation and division, like you dealing with two different books, man, that ain't of the Most High. All of this from Genesis to Revelation is the word of the Most High that we supposed to be focusing on, applying, taking heed to. But you got people saying, oh, man, we ain't got to read the Old Testament. All right, so if we don't read the Old Testament and we base everything solely off what's commonly taught, just believe and have faith, which with that mindset, we see that it's still a lot of murder. We see that it's still a lot of households where people have been victimized and taken advantage of. We see that it's still a lot of thievery going on. We see there's a lot of drug abuse and addiction. We see there's a lot of abandonment or single mothers and single fathers, childless parents, motherless and fatherless children. We see that going on because they're saying that, hey, give us something smooth and that'll make us feel good. Give us the sugar. We want the candy. We don't want the bitter herbs. We don't want the truth. We don't want to be told that, hey, if you keep doing it, listen, yes, the Most High is merciful, but listen, his wrath is great as his mercy. He will kill you. The Most High will kill. He will send a sickness on you. We ain't telling them, hey, look, you dealing with the diabetes, you dealing with the cancer, you dealing with the gout, you had to get the leg amputated because you kept defying the instructions and the commandments of the Most High. You didn't want to eat the way he told you to eat. You wanted to keep defiling your temple with the cigarettes or whatever. We don't want to teach the people like, listen, you're going to go to hell for cheating on your wife. You're going to go to hell for cheating on your husband. Listen, you will go to hell for living a homosexual lifestyle. The pastor going to go to hell if he don't repent for stealing money from the church. We ain't telling the people that. You telling the people at the funeral that he ain't got a chance because he's a gangster. This gangster, or because you knew him, you had some kind of relationship. This was your barber. You felt like he was a good person because he fed the homeless all the time. It's a lot of good people that's going to hell, family. It's a whole lot of good people that's headed to hell right now. Joel Osteen, if he don't repent, he heading to hell, man. Because he coming with these different messages where he's not teaching the commandments. They saying faith, faith, faith. Yes, faith coupled with works. So that's your commandments and the belief in the Messiah. All right, but here it says, think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. These commandments ain't hard, family. You got to understand it. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So when we read this, and you got to take it upon yourself to not wait on the pastor to teach you, wait on your granddad or your grandmama to teach you. You know, look for the word of the Most High. Have a relationship with him for yourself, because so many people have taken on the mannerisms and the perspectives of the people that taught them, and the person that taught them didn't even have a real understanding, didn't have a sharp understanding. Again, they didn't went to seminary school. They went to some man who was a Mason or who was a fork-tongued Jesuit, one of the Masoretes. He went to one of them and got his information and passed it on down to you. And you teaching it to the masses, man. All right, so the Messiah Christ, he didn't come to destroy the commandments, that we don't have to keep them. When you look at and examine these commandments, it's like, why wouldn't we want to keep them? Why wouldn't we want to do what the Most High said? He telling me, love my neighbor as myself. He telling us through the commandments, hey, look, when you see your brother doing something wrong, don't suffer sin upon him. Pull him to the side. Talk to him about him. Get him right. He's saying, look, if you see your friend, on your brother on the side of the road, one of your own nation, your people, even though y'all might have had a problem, his car broke down on the side of the road, don't have so much hate in you to where you just blow past him. No, pull over and help him. Don't you know that keep the nation strong? He said, man, well, when you lend something to your neighbor, I need to borrow $50, fam. When I get that $50 from you, don't text me and tell me I owe you an extra $25. I'm in the hole already. I'm asking you for a loan. So you're going to charge me interest. You know what I mean? I'm already in need. Don't you know that take away the resource and the finances of the nation? So the Father said, don't do that with your people so that all of our finances can flourish. Why wouldn't we want to keep them commandments? Let's go to Matthew 23. So he said, think not that I am come to destroy the law and kind of fulfill them. And he said, the one that who break and teach other men to break the least of these commandments, said they ain't going to even be called. They won't be called in the kingdom of heaven. Let me see what I want from here. Yeah, Matthew 23, verse 1 says, then spake Yeshua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. So those who may be teaching the commandments of the Most High. If you read enough and you study enough for your own soul salvation, like you say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So you don't have your salvation contingent and dependent on what Paisley's saying or what the next brother or sister saying. You really, in your own personal time, you saying, Father, I want to know what you require of me. And you reading his word. If you study his word enough, when you hear somebody talking contrary to what the book say, you're going to be able to identify they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm saying that to say the master instructing us. He's saying the Pharisees, they sit in Moses' seat, so they teaching his law. You can hear what people saying. He that is of the Most High heard the Most High's words. So listen to what they saying. If they talking about what the book actually say listen to them. Verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So listen to them, but don't do as they do, because they talk about it, but they don't do it. So they might be telling you, hey, send up that 200. Or talking about paying the tithes. Love your neighbor as yourself even. And the same ones who saying love the neighbor as yourself, they don't have no patience, no mercy, no compassion, no consideration for anybody outside of themselves or their household. No, man. That ain't how they're supposed to be. 1 John 3, though. So what is sin? Because I've heard before they say, well, sin is Sin is missing the mark. I heard somebody say that before. They said sin is missing the mark. I'm like, man, where you get that from? Where you get that from? What mark? 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. It says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. All right, so the definition of sin, not according to what we feel, not according to no emotion, what we think, what we heard through tradition over time, but what the word of the Most High say, what it speak for itself. His authors, he already had somebody write it down. They will move with the Holy Spirit, knowing that we will have these questions. What is sin? Okay, well, here it is. It's the transgression of the Most High's law, breaking his commandments. All right. So let me go to Hosea 4:1. Why do we need to understand that? Because some people we don't know. Many people don't even know that sin is breaking the commandments of the Most High. They don't know that, man. So this is basic instructions, basic information. By the way, this basic information I never heard. When I was going to Sunday church, Kojic, Church of God in Christ, the many Sundays that I went to church, the many Tuesday nights I went to church, no, they weren't talking about this. They'll go through the stories, you know what I mean, and come with a message that, you know, the word that was used was Raymond. It was a Raymond word. You know what I mean? But something that's in season all the time is the fact that people might be dealing with bills. Loved ones sick, somebody died. You know what I mean? That's a timeless message. So anybody will feel that and be like, man, it felt like you was talking to me. Hosea chapter 4, verse 1, though. It says, hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel. For the Most High have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of a higher in the land. So the people not being educated on the fact that keeping the Most High's commandments makes us close to him. So if on the flip side of it, by disobeying them, it keeps us away. We hear so many times, many of us, it's like, what can separate us from the love of Christ? And we get this list. Not angels, not principalities, not this, not that. But you know something that's not on that list? Sin. Sin ain't on that list, family. The Most High said, because of your idols, I separated you from me, which is sin. Idolatry is a sin. Let's go to Deuteronomy. So let's get some of these basic instructions. Some of these commandments that we can apply today, or at least we can understand. Now, applying some of the commandments that we read through from Genesis to Deuteronomy, within Genesis to Deuteronomy, some of them are exclusive because at that time we were in our land, we were in Jerusalem. Again, we had control over, we had a standing army. You know what I mean? We had control over our livestock and the water. You know what I mean? We had our own. But now we at the mercy of other nations. We pay for our water. We got to pay for the livestock. We got to buy the land. All these different things. Whereas we had an inheritance the Most High had already given us. Deuteronomy 17. Deuteronomy chapter 17. Let me see. Deuteronomy chapter 17. verse 1. It says, thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Most High thy power any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Most High thy power. Verse 2. If there be found among you, this is the one I'm trying to get to, y'all, within any of thy gates which the Most High thy power giveth thee, man or woman, that have wrought wickedness in the sight of the Most High thy power, in transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods, and worship them. Here we go. Either the sun or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded. And it be told thee, thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true. And a thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel. So if you find out that somebody been worshiping the sun, somebody been worshiping the moon, or the stars, or the clouds, or just the firmament all together. They praise it. It's so blue. I love how it look. It turns black at night. They just in love with the sky. To where they literally worship the sky. He said that's abomination, man. That's a sin. We ain't been educated on this, because you got households where they training their sons and daughters to actually practice sun worship, moon worship. They say, well, do this on the night of the full moon. They watching the moon in order to do certain actions. They pray. Look at how the sun set, like the Egyptians, worshiping the sun. They say how mighty it is. Everything grow because the sun. Literally worshiping the sun in the sky instead of the one that made the sun, that made the moon. It says, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. All right, now, so there be part of stoning them with stone, killing them. Again, we far removed from our land. We discontinue from our heritage. Well, we had our own system, our justice system. Now we under the justice system of a foreign nation. To where now we getting stoned and killed for things less than abominable than what we reading right here. We getting killed because we got a pack of Skittles on us. We getting killed because we knocked on the wrong door. And this sister was pregnant. She didn't know where she was. This is a real story. Young woman, pregnant, knocked on this Caucasian man door. She was lost. He killed her. It's a real story. What happened to that man? He didn't get time, family. Yeah, so we so far removed from these instructions. This is a part of the punishment, violating their covenant. This is why they don't want us educated on this, because then they can get away scot-free. All right, and it's not just the Caucasian. We're talking about Arabs and everybody who had a hand in our plight. That's a whole different message within itself. Let's go to Leviticus 19, though. Let's go to Leviticus 19. All right. What I want from here? Let me get 3. It says, ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am the Most High your power. So we see the stories in the videos where the granddaughter is fighting the grandmama. The children fighting their parents. Now, not in every case, but in many cases, that happened because the parent was trying to be friends with the children. Didn't want to dismiss, say, you spur the rod, you spoil the child. So in a lot of those cases, they never correcting the child. I'm not saying abuse the children. I'm not saying it. But I am saying that it's a point in time where chastisement is valid. All right, so instead of the parent actually making a clear, concrete distinction between child and parent, the child gain and wax stronger and more confident to think that, hey, I can talk to my dad and my mama like this. I can deal with them like my friend. To where they cub, they little cuddly cub where you were smiling and laughing. Oh, he cussing. Oh, she cussing. Look, it's cute. Oh, she dancing, she twerking, and she only 4 years old. Oh, she walked out the store. He walked out, he stole something out the store. And you didn't correct that while they were young. They grew up and they got strong in them. To where they said, you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna do what I want to do and get the hen you in your mouth. You the parent. So the people wasn't teaching that. And because they didn't teach it, it trickled down generation to generation and get worse. All right. Let's get another one. Ooh, verse 13. I talked about this earlier. It says, thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. All right, so this word of Most High telling every day, if I work for you, you should pay me that day, man. But the system that we under, we working 2 weeks and then we get paid. We work a whole month. We haven't seen any of our wages that we work for in an entire month. And then when we get it, we got to hold on and try to make it stretch. But what if you die? What if you kill within that time period before you get your paycheck? They've already had you to spend all your jewels. They didn't have you to spend all your energy, sacrifice time from your family. You know what I mean? Sacrifice your time to get a peace of mind. They already got the work out of you. They banking on you to die. And it's the day that you die at work or even from work, look, they're going to replace you. All right, so the basic instruction is that, man, we're supposed to get paid every day. We don't recognize this. We don't understand this. This is basic. Why wouldn't we want that? Wouldn't that be better? Why wouldn't we want to keep this commandment, family? If I say every day I'm going to see my money. Hey, I might need to look, instead of me having to call such and such, I can go buy me what I need, buy a little something for us to eat tonight today. Instead of calling Paul saying, hey, man, let me hold some till Friday. I got you. Going through that where it's embarrassing for some of us. We don't want to do that. Let's keep going, though. Verse 16 says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Most High. So being a person, somebody confide in you. You know what I mean? They share something personal with you in confidence. And you run and go tell somebody else. You get to go whispering, telling these folk business behind their back. And something many times it ain't even true. You just want to start something. You just a drama junkie. You want to get something started. You an instigator. Many people don't know that's a sin. You didn't know that. All right, believe it or not, by speaking on it, those who are seeking to please the Most High or hear this information, man, I didn't know that. Let me repent and let me get this right. Let me stop doing it. All right, so don't be a talebearer. Verse 17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. So you got people around here with grudges. You don't know. You can go to hell for that. Listen, the blessing that you've been praying for and wanting, seeking, you ain't getting them because that grudge is in the way. The grudge that you holding is holding back your miracles and blessings. The grudge you holding against your brother, against your sister, against your mama, against your dad, against your children, against your cousins, your aunties. Listen, that's stopping you from being blessed. That's keeping you from being healed. You're sick like you is because you keep on thinking about what they said to you. You can't believe they said it, family. Stop giving that power over you. Every time soon you see them or hear their name, it just mess your whole day up. Man, don't let nothing have no power over you like that. But that grudge you holding is a sin in the eyes of the Most High. Forgive them for you. Forgive them for yourself. The Most High said, the Master taught us, said, forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. So as much as we forgive, as much as we forgive, he'll forgive us. All right, said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High. So you have those who say we only deal with the New Testament. But then we get into Matthew 22, where the Pharisees, they asked the Messiah, they asked Hamashiach, they asked him, they said, well, what's the greatest commandment? And he tell them, well, the first is to love the Most High with all your power, all your might, your strength, all your soul. The second is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. This where he got it from, the OT, according to you. The Old Testament. Love your neighbor as yourself, man. All right, let me jump down. Verse 26, it says, ye shall not eat anything with the blood. Don't eat anything with the blood. So you got people going to restaurants and they want it to be medium rare. They say, don't cook my meat out, don't cook my steak all the way through. Even seeing video, people going straight to the stove, coming back, raw meat, raw piece of steak, raw piece of beef. They just put a little pepper on it and they get the biting into it. Not even cooking the fish. Blood is in those things, man. That's a sin before the Most High. We're not supposed to consume no blood. All right. It says, neither shall ye use enchantment, magic, spells. You got people playing with tarot cards. You got people want to deal with psychics. You got people want to deal with mediums. They want to be mediums. They invoking and allowing different spirits to come in them and speak through them to speak to other people. The Most High said, no, that's not something we're supposed to be doing. Using enchantments, you putting little spells in the food, making potions and all that type of stuff. The Most High said, that's a sin. Don't do that. This is something, this ain't hard. Don't do it. All right, it says, nor observe times. Nor observe times. Now, this is one that we see on a day-to-day basis. You got people saying, well, I'm a Cancer. Hey, I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Leo. I'm a Pisces. Horoscope. So let me show y'all something. Don't observe time. Don't observe time. Let me see. Let's look at this. Watch this. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Look. Watch this. Look at this. Definition.
Horoscope.
Horoscope. A forecast of a person's future, typically including a delineation of character and circumstances based on the relative positions of the stars and planets at the time of that person's birth. So this right here, pretty much for so many people, they check their horoscope daily as if their lives depended on it. But what I want to point out is here, the origin. The origin of the word horoscope, hora, which means time, scopos, observer, time observer, time observer, horoscope. Now look, now let's go back to what the Most High say. Leviticus 19, the B part of 26, nor observe times. Yeah, so don't do that. This basic instructions. The pastor ain't telling you that. The pastor up there saying, hey, look, I'm a Sagittarius. We got any Sagittariuses in the house. He up there violating the commandment of the Most High. Got people looking to that more than they looking to the Father, the Creator. You looking to the stars instead of looking to beyond the stars for the one who made them. And that dictates a person's day-to-day life, man. No, that the Most High said that's transgression, that's sin. One of the least commandments. Don't be involved and be dealing with no horoscope. Verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard. We let it grow. You got people around shaving their face, shaving all the face hair off, shaving it. They not cutting their hair because of some vow or because they were clean, because they were forehead bald. No, these people, they going to get mohawks and all this type of stuff. That's a hairstyle of rebellion. That's transgression. The Father is not pleased with it. This is a least commandment. Just don't do it. It ain't hard. Don't shave all your facial hair off trying to look young. That's what a lot of men do. Older men at that. They want to look young, so they go shave all the, and you look real strange, man. You look real fruity, man. I'm gonna tell you straight, you look like a somohexual. Yeah, and I mean what I say, a somohexual. Try not to get flagged. All right, 28. It says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Most High. So when we're talking about tattoos, you got people going to get RIP tattoos. Rest in peace, cuz. Rest in peace, brother. I love my auntie so much, so I went and got her name tatted RIP. The Most High saying, no, he's not pleased with that sin. The same way we came out the womb, we didn't come out the matrix of our mothers with tattoos, man. The temple is holy, and we're supposed to keep it holy. Now, I know some of us, we didn't know this information. I know of people personally that they didn't know getting tattoos was a sin. But when they found out, they stopped. You can do the same. It's one of the least commandments. One of the least commandments. Don't get a tattoo. Don't get tattoos, man. Don't put any cuttings in your flesh. You got some people too, a loved one pass away, they go cutting on themselves. Not for tattoo's sake. They saying, oh, this helped me with the hurt that I'm dealing with. That's a spirit, man. And it's an unclean spirit that's not from the Most High. This is a practice from ancient times, from ancient pagans. Those who were in the land of Canaan and the children of Ham who were in the land of Egypt, Mitzrayim. 29, do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. You got many parents, they dressing these little girls like grown women. They think it's okay. No, she should still be in, little girl clothes with little animals on it, with bowrets in her head. But because this woman or this daddy, he trying to live a second life through his child. He said, well, let me do and get her, my child, to do everything that I didn't have a chance to do. Causing that seed to be rotten. Don't prostitute you. You got people online, literally, they selling their children, man. They selling their children. I heard about it, see it in the news all the time. within my research. Another woman and went to jail because she wanted to sell this child to two grown men. Wicked as ever, man. And then these pimps out here, those who saying that they pimps, y'all a bunch of suckers, man. A bunch of evil suckers. Most High need to split y'all wigs. Law don't take these women from different states, inject her with some kind of drug, and then take her to another state to where she depended on you. She don't know where she at. Get the beating on her. Now you instill fear in her to be dependent on you when you done already took her from her land, the city that she was familiar with, that she born in. Do not prostitute thy daughter to be a whore. Keep your child with all these perverts nowadays. Many of y'all don't even understand. Really need to be running that research about the predators in your area. Wherever you move to, don't listen. When you move somewhere, and even if you just there now, run one of those research about predators in your area. Be aware of that. All right, but all these perverts out here, you got people just running and rushing to put their children online. Prostituting their children. Got little skimpy clothes on. Right, that's a sin before the Most High. It says, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. That's how powerful the female is. The Most High said, through a female, all the land can be run over with wickedness. This is why they've used women as a major tool to push homosexuality. They started off with the different movies, a lot of them. They were using the women, man. The commercials and the ads. The movies and the series. The billboards, they showing these women. And they saying, well, you know, that's just women. That's a woman thing. Women can do that. Long as men don't do that. This is what they saying at first. No, it's wicked either way, man. Said, ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Most High. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Most High, your power. Again, you got people running and striking, trying to hurry up and find a psychic to talk to. Now, what's wrong with you praying? If you lock in with the Most High, you keep these commandments. Listen, he'll hear your prayer. If you sincere, he'll answer you. He'll respond. You don't have to go ask no psychic. The psychic is getting their information from a spirit, a demon, which is a way lesser spirit than the Lord of spirits, the Most High, who created all spirits. Why not go to the source, man? 32 says, thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, the ones with the white hair, and honor the face of the old man and fear thy power. I am the Most High. So respect your elders. This is a simple, basic instruction. This is a basic commandment. Respect the older people. But you know what? Something that I looked at in my research too. Last night, I was looking because the level of violence and wickedness, just in Memphis alone, I was like, man, it's spiked and peaked. Let me look at when did this spike and peak start? 2006 crime was low, man. 2019, man, it got to shooting up, and it's been up ever since then. But what's significant about 2019 and 2020? The people went and got stoned. They went and got their sting. And guess what? If you don't know, prior to releasing it, the FBI, they had a meeting where they were talking about having a vaccine that would target the God gene in people. YouTube, don't flag me, man. They had a conversation about putting something in our bodies, in our temple, that would target what they call the God gene. The God gene, which is supposed to have us conscious, considerate of God, of the Most High, of morals, of what's right, of truth. So many people, through fear, that when they got this thing, guess what? They no longer regard the Most High, man. They don't regard these commandments. Many of them can't because they've been modified. I would raise up before the hoary head, respect the elder. You see the old man coming on, he got the cane. Look, and you in the room and ain't no more seats. Stand up, let him sit down. Let her sit down. This is what the Most High. Why wouldn't we want to keep this commandment? When we see that hoary head, which all men, all elders, whether they women or men, just because they got white hair, gray hair, or they older, don't mean they wise or to be respected. But if we talking on a common level, how things were supposed to be with the original design, then yeah, man, respect your elders. Look at the history. You can learn something from them. They've been around. You 24, they 48, they twice as old as you. What do they know? What did they experience? This is what the Most High saying. Reverence them. You can learn something from them. Bridge the gap. Your errors, a lot of the mistakes you done made, you wouldn't even have to deal with them if you got the information from old school. All right. Let's see. Let's get some more basic ones. Let's go to Leviticus 17. Viewer discretion is advised. I try to keep it within try to keep it where it's not offensive. It never intentionally offensive anyway. All right, so Leviticus, what I say, 17. That's what I said. Okay. We went over this one, but I'm going to get it again anyhow. Leviticus 17, verse 12. It says, therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. Now, it's important we went here too, because that stranger could be somebody visiting me or of another nation who's saying that, look, we're going to cleave to the children of Israel. We're going to cleave to the chosen people of the Most High. So when you decide that you want to serve him alongside us, the stranger, the Gentiles, you can't eat blood either. And neither would I allow a visitor who come into, my quarters and out your place of habitation. You don't say, well, that's them. They want to eat blood. Just let them. No. Don't nobody eat blood, man. It's a commandment of the Most. Make sure we cook that thing all the way through and thoroughly. All right. Let me jump back. Before I go there. Let's go to Leviticus. We just getting basic instructions if you done came in late. Just basic commandments. The least of the commandments. Stuff that we can apply today where you have so many saying, well, it's impossible for us to keep the commandments. It's not. It wasn't. When they talk about these different sacrifices, those commandments, many of them were allotted to and exclusive to the priests. A person from the tribe of Manasseh wasn't going to be making those sacrifices on behalf of no tribe. It had to be the Levites. So a lot of the commandments that's embedded or that you find between Genesis and Deuteronomy, they pertain only to the priests, not the common person. Leviticus 7. Let's see, verse 22. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox or of sheep or of goat. So I know that customarily, a lot of the country folks cook the food and they say, man, their salt their fat got a little more salt in it. And they like to eat the fat. No, that's a sin. That's breaking the commandment that the Most High gave. That's going against his instruction. Don't eat the fat, man. You're not supposed to eat the fat. I don't know how people would like to eat it anyway, because it'd be so bouncy and chewy. I don't understand how people get, any kind of delight out of it. But don't eat fat, man. Let me see, 24. And the fat of the beast that dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts, may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. So if you want to use the fat to add a little more flavor to whatever you're cooking, okay, that's cool, but don't eat the fat, man. For whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, which is the cook, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people. All right, and then we got to understand that too. You have some that say, is no sin greater than the other sin. And that's a cop-out. That's not what the scriptures say, man. That's not what the book say. And we know that all sin ain't equal, because the judgments that come for different ones. This right here, if you eat fat, you don't get stoned. You don't get the stipulation one that you had to be killed. So all sin ain't equal. Let's see. Let's go to Leviticus 15. Leviticus 15. Then I think I'm gonna get some of the numbers. Leviticus 15, though, family. You check some right quick while y'all get that. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 16. All right, now this is what I'm saying, discretion advised. But this is a commandment that we can keep. It's one of the least commandments. Basic instructions. He says, and if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean unto the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean unto the even. All right, so we're talking about the conclusion of those acts, those who are where we know, you know what I mean? You're supposed to clean your body after that. Anything that it touches, that's supposed to be cleansed. All right, so there's a basic instruction that we can keep. Many people don't know. They feel like, hey, you do that and you just go on about your business, go on about your day. Like, no, you're unclean. Verse 18 says, the woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean unto even. So after that, y'all clean yourselves. Clean your temples. After your marital duties or whatnot. Verse 19. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. And whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean unto the even. So sisters who go through the time of the month, Most High said you should be set apart. Now, how is that done? I'm sure y'all wise enough to figure it out, but separate yourself. Separate yourself. And I know it can be challenging in certain households. You might not have multiple bathrooms. So it's like, okay, dang, this person here, she dealing with that, but somebody else there, and they sit on the same seat as her, then they become unclean. Yeah. But all praise to the Most High that in that uncleanness, that the judgment ain't that you supposed to be killed. You become unclean though. But if we able to separate, sister, you able to separate during that time of your menstruation, separate. All right, let the people be aware if you able to in the house. Hey, look, hey, check it out. I'm dealing with something. They'll pick it up. Oh, let me see what else. I'll keep reading on. It says, and everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the even. Notice how the Most High want us to take a bath, man. So you got some people not thinking that, hey, we could just go day to day and I don't have to take a bath or a shower. Like, you nasty. The Most High is saying, man, look, clean yourself. Take a bath, man. Take a shower. It says, verse 23, and if it be on her bed or on anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean unto the even. So those things that the sisters sit on, you know, if that person touch it, they sit on it, you know, and they make contact with it, then they become unclean unto the even. 24. It says, and if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. And all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. So this is talking about during that particular time period that a man lay down with this woman, that's unclean. That's a sin. I can recall August Alsina talking about he was like kind of happy about it. Like to lay down with a woman during that time, that's a sin, family. That's not supposed to be done. That's transgression. All right, so this is a basic instruction, a least commandment that we can apply. Don't do that. She set apart, separated. Listen, let her be. You ain't gonna die. You ain't gonna lose no sleep, man. You shouldn't. Don't touch that woman. Let's see what else I want from here. Let's go to Leviticus 7. Leviticus chapter 7. Yup. Yes, indeed, self-control. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit, by the way. That's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, by the way. Leviticus chapter 7. Or did I get that already? Yeah, I did. Shalaka. Oh, excuse me. Let's go to Exodus 23. Exodus 23. So it's just some of the least commandments, man. Some of the least ones. Verse 1. Yes, indeed. Exodus 23 verse 1 says, thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. So you got a lot of people. They create lies, things that's not true, and they go spread it. Remember we said, don't be a talebearer. Don't be the one instigating. Don't be somebody starting this drama. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. So you got a lot of people who they see because the crowd doing it. They saying that it's a whole lot of people that agree with it. They say, well, they're going to get on the bandwagon. Don't be a follower after an evil crowd. This is what the Most High instructing us. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. So just because everybody's saying it, You don't get involved and have people trying to, having a difficult time trying to see what is the actual judgment in the situation in the matter. Rest judgment, meaning now they got to go back and forth. You making it more difficult. So don't do that, man. If you don't know what went on, be quiet. If it ain't your business, mind your own. This is something that we can do. One of the least commandments. It says, neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. Notice what it say about your enemy. So let me use it like this. If my dog, that's P dog. We in the same neighborhood. We done had whatever issue we had. You see my dog loose. It says, you see my dog running. Look, you supposed to go get my dog and bring him back to me. You know what that do in fend off? Whatever evil spirit that could escalate our issue to me want to murder you or you murder me, it still keeps that humane element within us to where we say, man, look, man, it ain't that serious. It ain't that serious where I can't look, man, this is his dog, man. Love your neighbor as yourself. Man, this is one of his protectors. If that was my dog, I don't want to, come out the house and see my pit bull or my Rottweiler on the side of the road dead, my Doberman Pinscher. Like, man, I would have wanted somebody to grab my dog and bring them back. So when you see your enemy, somebody you might have had a problem with, see your enemy, they bring them back to it. Why wouldn't we want that? Why wouldn't we want to do that? That's nation building. That's not allowing a grudge to exist between us. Verse 5 says, if thou see the donkey of him that hateth thee, lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him. So again, this dude donkey done broke down. Translation to today's time, if we're gonna go, look, his lawnmower, he need help with his lawnmower. Or his car done broke down. He on the side of the expressway. You see him, man, they go Larry right there. I know he don't like me. Man, it's hot out here. It's 104 degrees today, though. Let me pull over and help, bro. He gonna be shocked. Guess what? End up driving the spirit that had y'all into it away altogether. Now we kill the spirit and we don't feed that murderous demon that get powered by murder. We silence all that. Why wouldn't we want that? Why wouldn't we want to do that, man? All right, so that's just a few. There's a lot more that we could go over. But in the midst of that, let's go to 2nd Esdras. I'm in 2nd Esdras chapter 1, verse 27. 2nd Esdras chapter 1, verse 27. So all these different basic instructions, if you don't know, this becomes a shield for us. This right here give us more access to the Most High. This right here get them paying attention to us. We crying out for all the wrong reasons. But if we was crying out in righteousness as obedient children, it's just like a parent with their child. You got a child that always do what they supposed to do. You're not going to be reluctant to give them anything. You ain't going to be too quick to hold back nothing from them. But if this is a rebellious child that always got a problem, always got an issue, always trying to challenge you, always doing something against you're going to be kind of, hold on, man. You ain't going to be too quick to reward them. You're going to try to find a different way to handle them and deal with them. It might be a point where you feel like, man, they don't understand my mercy, so let me give them tough love. So with the Father, the Creator, if we obey him, we those obedient children, he'll be more willing and quick to give us those things that we desiring of him. Which that is another message too, because we a lot of people pray for things that's not his will. You might be praying for something that ain't his will for you. So that's why he ain't give it to you. You praying that old girl gets sick and lose her mind. Not because she actually, you know what I mean, something went on. You just don't like the shoes that she had on today. Like, man, what kind of time you on, sis? All right, but in the keeping of these commandments is our wisdom, our knowledge, is protection. You know what I mean? Link us in with the Father. All right, but we've disobeyed these commandments and suffered for it. Again, I'm constantly putting it on these false preachers and pastors who paid to destroy the people. They're not teaching this. They saying just believe. Okay, well, believe what? They saying believe in Christ. Believe that he came. Okay, in the midst of me believing it, just like this person who purposely day in and day out, something that happened. I don't recall where it was at, but they said, you know, it was an event, right? A lot of people there. They said like 100 some people got pricked with this needle. So and this crowd of people, somebody going through the crowd with a needle, sticking people. What are they shooting these folks up with? So you just sticking random people. I don't know if it's a dirty needle. I don't know if you pulling one of the Tuskegee experiment type of things. The people don't even know what you done shot them up with. But that person right there believe in Christ. So what is the separating factor between them and you that believe? It got to be obedience, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 1, verse 27. Let's see. Let me go back up. Man, he going in right here. Man. I'm going to start with 22, man. 2nd Ezra 1 and 22. It says, thus saith the Almighty Lord, when ye were in the wilderness in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, like so many do today. You got people cursing the Most High. I gave you not fire for your blasphemies. He spared us. He had that mercy on us. Many people not receiving the due and just judgment that we should be reaping from our actions against the Creator. I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou Judah wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. So he said, all right, y'all don't want to obey. I'm going to give it to these ish people. So now we got the imposters posing as us. We got them reaping the benefits. And a lot of people saying, well, what do they got to do with me? You struggling and suffering day to day, trying to make ends meet, frustrated with your own family, having all these different problems because of your finances. All right, but within it, the U.S. is sending millions of dollars over to the Jewish people when they posing as you. They posing as us. So that money that they getting, which they've been recognized by these world powers to be the people, many of the world powers, definitely the U.S., that benefit that's going to the imposters is supposed to be going to you, the real deal. You wouldn't be worried about your finances and so frustrated and stressed out if you was getting your due inheritance. That's why it matters. But the Most High said, because you ain't want to listen, I'm going to let you see how I do with these other people. That's tough love. Verse 25, seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When you desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. So your pastor teaching you the Most High love you whenever. He'll never leave you. He gonna stand by you. He gonna always bless you. Live how you look. All you gotta do is believe. You're gonna keep getting blessed. The Bible telling me, man, the Most High will turn his back on you. See, if we knew that, we wouldn't be playing with him. We wouldn't be so quick to go against his commandments. We wouldn't be so quick to feed our flesh and do what our flesh wants us to do. If we knew, like, oh, hold up, man, he will cut me off. He will cut my water off. And so many people right now, water cut off, and they don't even know it. Says, seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When you desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever you shall call upon me, I will not hear you. Look at that. We're talking about the same creator, man. The same one who they telling you, look, man, hey, faith is going to get you in the gate. Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you. For ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Most High. So you got people thinking that they turning their backs on the Most High. Yeah, you didn't turn your back on me. You turned your back on yourself. You think you hurting him. You really destroying yourself. That's just like you on a machine that's breathing for you. And you think that you're going to hurt somebody else by unhooking yourself from the breathing machine. No, you're going to kill yourself. A lot of people that committed spiritual suicide. They saying, well, forget the Most High, like I talked about. People ain't got enough patience to wait for his word. You think he's going to answer you immediately. Immediately, when you done spent your whole life doing everything against his will possible. All right, man. So again, just something, just wanted to speak on a few of the basic things. That's the basic instructions. And these basic instructions are super powerful, though. They're super powerful because they give us access, more access to the Most High, man. And we ain't been taught that. All right, so like the master told us, though, those who break the least of the commandments and teach men so, they'll be the least in the kingdom of heaven. But those who teach and do those commandments, they'll be called in the kingdom. They more fit to be in the New Jerusalem. All right, question, comments, and concern, man, before we close out. I didn't want to take up too much time today. I think there was milk. I think there was a little milk for us. If you tuning in over Facebook, I do not see your comments. I'm gonna have to go back and check it. Go back and check it after the when I get off live. Isaru Ramonto. Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. And I pray that the same prayers and blessings you send in my way, you bless me, may you be blessed. In every category. Let me see some questions, comments, and concerns, though, before we close out. Yup, and two, I want y'all to keep in mind as well, family, baptism. Talking about baptism, getting in that living water. Do it. Do that. Questions, comments, and concerns. Let's see some. All right, let me scroll down. Let me see what y'all saying. Suru, you said, do we baptize in all of them? 9 are separately. Help me to understand, fam. Or you mean or separately? Okay, so do we baptize in all of them? Who is the them? What is the them you referring to though? Uh, believe it or not, tree of the field. He said, "Is there any wrong in getting baptized several times? Like say years later, do it again." That's a question that a lot of people have. Me, I would say it's not 100%. It's not necessary that you get baptized again unless you're talking about, you was in, under the doctrine of the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, or Sunday Church and all that. You want to get baptized in the true name with the true doctrine. Living water is preferred, but the whole ceremony is really a testament between you and the Most High. You know what I mean? So if I baptize you today, and then for whatever reason, because this will happen, I've heard it several times, different cases, which I understand. This person, you might feel like, well, no, I don't like P off. Something wrong with P. I don't know, whatever. And you feel like you want to get this other person to baptize you. If you want to do that, hey, go ahead. But my thing is, the focus is what's more important is not about who baptizing you. It's about the fact that you declaring that you belong to the Most High. You going through the same regiment that the Messiah went through. He got baptized. So you following after him. You doing what he said to do. You getting dipped in the water for his, you know what I'm saying, for him to stamp and approve you. It ain't me or the person whoever baptized you. But if you feeling moved to get baptized again, then I'm not going to tell you not to. You want to get baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, like the book tells us. Yes, indeed. Lenoy said, can I speak on the alms that was contributed to me as far as it being a Shabbat? Yeah, the alms are appreciated, but I'd rather, if you're going to contribute anything, let it not be on the Sabbath. I don't handle money. I don't do business on Shabbat, period. That's why, like, even if you go to the site, we shut the shop down when the Shabbat come in. So it's greatly appreciated. Thank you for it. But rather hold out. And that's not even just with me. You know what I'm saying? Any contribution that y'all might want to give, make sure it's after the Shabbat or before the Shabbat. Any other question, comments, or concern? Any other question, comments, or concerns? I said, take them to the gates and handle that mess. Trying to see what else y'all saying in the comments. What about dipping yourself? Let me see. What about dipping yourself in the water? I've been thinking about that. I got baptized when I was younger, but I've came to understand that the word spirit is the water. So when you say that the spirit is the water, it kind of take me into a gray area. And I'm saying it because It is a teaching that, we don't have to get in water because the washing of the word. The thing about that is we'll have men to say, well, yeah, we followers of Christ, the Messiah. So, it said that he spoke with authority. So we want to speak with authority. It said he was checking and cutting the Pharisee. He was austere. So we want to be austere. We want to do everything he did except get in the water. Like, that don't make sense. Why would we not want to get in the water? Then we go further to where after he ascended, let's go to Acts 8. Let's go to Acts 8. So after Christ ascended, if it was something that was, getting baptized in water was not for us to actually take part in, surely he would have gave us instructions about it. Acts chapter 8, verse 26, where I'm starting at. It says, and the angel of the Most High spake unto Philip, saying, arise and go toward the south, unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot, read Isaiah the prophet. So this Ethiopian, sitting in the chariot reading the scroll of Isaiah. But Philip had already been called by the Holy Spirit to go, on his mission. Verse 29 says, then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understandest thou what thou readest? You understand what you're reading, bro? This is what he asked in Ethiopian. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth. In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away. And who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this? Of himself or of some other man? So the Ethiopian, he don't understand, is this talking about Isaiah himself, or is this talking about somebody else? 35. Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Yeshua. And as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water. And the eunuch said, see, here is water. What doth hinder me to be baptized? And Philip said, if thou believest with all thy heart, thou mayest. And he answered and said, I believe that Yeshua HaMashiach is the Son of the Most High. And he commanded the chariot to stand still, and they went down both into the water, not the scriptures. They got the scroll already. If the scroll itself was going to clean them, it wasn't no need for to be trying to get it in water. It said both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him. And when they would come up out of the water, so we started getting this reiteration, letting us know this ain't just some metaphorical thing. They saw the water. He asked, man, what's going to stop me from getting baptized in the water? They go into the water, and now they coming out the water. He says, and when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Most High caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing. So I understand that you got some that say, well, the water is just, it don't change nobody. No, we ain't saying that because you go in the water, you just gonna have this miraculous change, which some have experienced. But again, it's a declaration between you and the heavens, the ruler of the heavens, the Father of lights. You saying like, look, I dedicate myself. This is ceremony. Just like what I always talk about. When the Messiah told the old man or the man with the withered hand, he said, if you believe you can be healed, you can, but stretch forth your hand. If that man never stretched forth his hand, he would have never received that miracle. He would have never experienced it. So just like that, we have to do something. You know what I'm saying? We can't just serve the Most High with our mouths. We got to show that we serve him. And a part of it is going into that water. All right. Prayerfully that answer your question, man. I'm tripping on what these folks said. Let me see. But far as dipping yourself, I'm gonna put my hand on my mouth about that. I haven't read where, you know, a person baptized themselves. I haven't read that. I will say, well, two or more gather in agreement, you know, the mouth's in the midst, so it'll be more powerful with somebody. But I rather, you know, if there's something that offends the Most High, not or Teflon John, I can't say, family. I don't have all the answers. Well. Let me see. If you've been tuning in over time, then marriage, divorce, and separation is something that I'm really, really skeptical about. Because I don't want to be a vessel that the Most High say, hold on, why you tell them that? Why you say that? And that ain't what I wanted for them. I don't know what the Most High want for a marriage. He said, what he put together, don't let nobody put asunder. You see something. But far as adultery, let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Matthew chapter 5. Excuse me. Verse 31. Matthew 5, verse 31. It says, it have been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving or except for the cause of fornication, cause of her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery. So the grounds where this thing will be, when we're talking about separation or divorce, approved of, this would come from a person having committed fornication. So outside of that, then yeah, y'all stuck together. But there's a lot that go into it to, you know, that type of thing. And one of the reasons why I'm skeptical speaking on it, because it's two parties. You know, somebody could say this, well, I don't have the full story. You know, that may be just this person's side and what they think and what they feel. And so within it, It could be a desire to get somebody to confirm their reasons or validate whatever action that this individual want to commit. I don't want to be a part of it. So I preferably that answer your question. So outside of the fornication and the divorcement, like outside of fornication, no, it's the death do you part. And what I have to do is actually do a more detailed message on it to cover, you know what I mean, more of those scenarios and that situation altogether. Preferably to answer your question though. Let me see. Uh Isuru, you said what about communion? What you mean? What about it, family? Yeah, how you get your hair to grow so fast? You gotta train your hair. When you brush your hair, you comb your hair, you stimulate the hair follicle. That encourages the growth. So if you just got your hair, you're not taking care of it, you're not tending it. There's no motion, there's no vibrations being put into it. It's not stimulated. So that's secondary to the fact of the Most High making it grow. But then on top of that, you gotta. I don't want to really talk about it right now, but you gotta have some products that'll help you with it. Yes, indeed. I feel your Teflon. Do we take communion? I don't see why not. If you long as we doing it, you know what I mean. You sincere in your spirit. You ain't doing it while you got a grudge. You got some kind of problem, personal issue with somebody. You know what I mean. We supposed to be doing that in purity. So yeah, it says as much as we can, calling it communion, but rather, just taking part with that wine and that bread in remembrance of Hamashiach or Christ. Yeah, he said, do that as much as you can in remembrance of him. Products I use though, of course, the Boaz Beard Balm, Beard Moisturizer, the Samson's Hair Grease, uh, the Linoleum made me something special too. So now that one is exclusive. Y'all can't know nothing about that one. But that Samson hair grease gonna get you in the game for the scab though for sure. Yeah, then you want these herbal, your shampoo bars, hibiscus, sea moss, different kinds like that. Wash it with something that's powerful and that encourages growth. Then you want to have the moisturizer for it with the grease. So that'll encourage the hair growth as well. All right, don't look like we got nothing else said here. Don't look like we got nothing else said. Yeah, but far as that, all praise to the Most High. Rango 2 times. Do I think the third of Israel are replacing the fallen angels? No, I don't. I don't believe that. I understand and know that the angels are separate beings from mankind. Those fallen angels are the fathers and the parents to the demons we deal with today. Demons are real. I'm talking about a spirit. I ain't talking about a man who acting like he crazy. No, I'm talking about a real entity that doesn't have a physical body, but can possess and host somebody. Yeah, so the fallen angels are not the same as the Israelites, the children of Israel. The 2/3 of the Israelites is prophesied not to make it. So if you read what is this second Baruch, or is it third Baruch? Second Baruch though, we said would be equal to the angels. They talk about in Corinthians us having it's a celestial body and a terrestrial body. So Baruch, second Baruch, going to those glorified bodies that we supposed to receive. I got a message on it, as a matter of fact. Can't think of the name of it right now. But those glorified bodies, we won't get sick. It tell us we'll be able to transform and take shape of anything we desire. The glow that Adam had in the beginning will be restored to us. So being equal to the angels, that's what it is. Even within that too, being equal with the angels, like what he told them in that passage, it won't be a need to like reproduce. You know what I'm saying? It won't be a need to reproduce then. All praise to the Most High. All righty, family. Behold, all things will be made new. That's the name of the message. Yo, behold, all things will be made new. So they talk about their message going to about the glorified bodies in second Baruch and what we can expect in the future prophecies for those who make it through. All right, family. So I pray the word was edifying. More than anything, I pray that the Most High was pleased with it. I pray y'all have a blessed night, a blessed week. Let this digest in our spirits. Let it not be something that we just come together, hear it, and then as soon as the live stop, we turn to this other person who forgot what the Most High said. All right, so peace and blessing to y'all. Much love. Shalom.